It's another beautiful episode on Ekaro, and this edition is fantastic because I know for sure that I have someone phenomenal, someone creative, someone not just creative, she's also a great farmer. And you wonder why I will want to be talking about farming today. Just stick to the program Ekaro this morning. It's going to be fantastic and it's going to be great. I remember my humble self at Deleke Mustafa. And permit me to actually introduce my special guest this morning. She's a sister, she's a big sis, she's a wonderful creative. I want to start off by saying maybe she's a fashion designer. I think that's the first part I got to know about her first. So pardon me if I'm introducing it that way. So, and also she's also the founder CEO of Soromidaya Farms, which deals with livestock and fish farming. Please just carry me along in case I make any mistakes alongside. But welcome with me, Oluwa Soromidaya Ayo. You're welcome to Proverbs and you're welcome to Ekaro.
Thank you, Mr. Adeleke, CEO of Proverbs Podcast. I'm grateful and honored to be here.
Thank you so much. We are so sorry for our roads, and I believe you are glad to be in our studio this morning.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here, and I appreciate everything that you are doing. I'm very, very delighted to see the good works. It's a good one you're doing. God bless you and enlarge your coast.
Amen. Thank you so much for coming. And out of your busy schedule, we appreciate that you could find just a little time to be here, and we do not take that for granted. And we really appreciate your effort and your time. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
All right. So we are going to dig into your journey. First off, we want to start off from your journey from the fashion world to the farming world. So, and we understand you were someone who go through by the books, like you have a track record of experience, and there are a lot of people who had this narrative of thinking that agriculture, there's nothing in agriculture, or how will I, just like growing up, many people be like, oh, how many want to be a teacher, how many people want to be a farmer, how many want to be a doctor. I believe large percent always want to be a doctor, want to be a lawyer, like all of the professional courses, thinking that, oh, there's nothing with farming and all of that. So let us start from you. So how did you journey into farming? How did it start? Or should we bring it from the fashion world? And how did you transcend from that?
Thank you very much. So for me personally, it's not been it was not very easy, transforming into agriculture, coming from the fashion world. So 2010, I graduated from Federal University of Technology at Akure. I read applied geophysics.
Okay.
I tried to look for a job, but you know how taxing can be to get a job.
Sure.
And after so many search with no results, in terms of in line with what I studied, I had to even teach. While I was teaching, then I started learning fashion designing. From there, I was finding fulfillment gradually, but it wasn't easy combining teaching, especially after closing hour. I go for lesson.
Yeah.
Then at a point, people started owing me. There were so many debtors. I was just like, there's something I need to do differently. Okay, what could I try? And I remember that there's somebody who stayed in my estate back then that was always telling me about fish farming. You can just buy these fingerlings, I sell it, and rare. I never looked into it, but I didn't even know COVID was going to come. Just before COVID, 2019, November 28th precisely, I bought my first 1,000 fingerlings while I was still into the fashion.
Okay.
But of course, I sold part of my machines, and I was able to buy fish tanks to set up the fish farming business. So I started learning from YouTube, asking questions from co-farmers around me, where I resided back then in Agege, Lagos State, precisely in Nigeria. So, and that was how I managed it. Then 2020 March, I was supposed to sell. The lockdown came. How am I going to sell? And before I know it, I think I was led by the grace of God to add value. So I added value because I resided in an estate, so people usually cluster into some places.
Okay.
And I told them about what I do. They can come in the evening. But fortunately enough, the very first day, we sold all the product that
Wow.
we grilled.
Wow.
Then we also put some in pepper soup form, and again the catfish.
Yeah, the catfish.
The ones that did not grow well, we smoked them, which was the beginning of the processing, called the smoked catfish business. And I saw that business was booming. In fact, some of the debts that I had
Before,
in
yeah.
fashion, I saw that I was
Able to
paying
clear.
off from the fish, and that was how I found fish interesting. And after COVID, of course, everybody had returned back to their businesses, their organizations. So business was very slow, which was what led me into taking a space on the main road in front of a supermarket that was very, very popular around that axis called
Okay.
Prognosis Supermarket. So
Okay.
that's why I took the space so that I can,
So,
sell more to everybody on that axis beyond people who resided in my estate. And I saw that business was booming, and from there I also went to IITA to go and learn more so
Okay.
that I can have a better structure and a better knowledge on how to go into it in the commercial
properly.
way.
Okay, so now let me bring it up from where you started now. So I want to be like, how was it? What was the feeling like the first time you sold all, like the first set that you grew? So what was the feeling like when you sold it off and you'd be like, oh, it's like this thing is making sense or something? Was there any sense of fulfillment, or like do you have like this push that, okay, I think I'm doing something different, I think there's a fulfillment here, there's a meaning for me here, like that?
Yeah, there was sense of fulfillment, and don't forget, that's why I said I was coming from a place where they were owing me.
Yeah.
Maybe I did not do the right structure, but whatever I experienced, I told myself that in this new business I'm going to, I am not going to allow anybody. And I realized that for the food business I was into, people will just buy and pay you instantly. There's no going and coming. Coming from the fashion world, somebody can actually give you fabric, deposit, and before you know it, when the fabric is ready, they could give you story and say, oh, I just need to quickly use this and I will get back to you.
Okay.
But as soon as they are done, they've forgotten that promise that they made. Before you know it, you're just looking at figures, the money in your books, and you cannot really lay hold
back.
So that's easy. So for me, it was a sense of fulfillment, and I could even remember vividly that was how I bought my very first phone. A phone I could say I bought by myself, not like an uncle or an aunt or sister. I bought it myself, even after paying off some debt. So I could say that fish farming for me gave me fulfillment and recognition, because I remember there was also a magazine, I can't really remember the name right now, they came, interviewed me, and for me it was like, I've been doing something for like 8 years and nobody recognized me. So fish farming itself gave me this brand visibility. It gave me, and I can't, in fact right now I can say that every TV station, national TV I've been on, fish farming took me there. Talk about, I don't want to mention it, but talk about anywhere you could see me today that you can see me, fish farming took me there.
That's very much encouraging. But one thing that I feel like you will help us dig into, just because of we could have prospect farmers that might want to currently watch it now, and your story might definitely encourage them and see that, okay, I can actually transition into this field. And some of them have been procrastinating, thinking like, I think I'll do it tomorrow, I'll try it next, and all of that. So there's this one part of your story that I feel like you should help us enlighten more, which was like, okay, how was the transition like, in the sense that, yes, you said you started from a small space within your apartment like that, then also that you were able to get a bigger space within Agege Axis, which we were able to move on. So how was that transition like? So was it that there was more demand, or you felt like, okay, I think I have to scale this more, or was based on the knowledge you've acquired from ITTA, or how did you transcend and to your current state now? So how, carry us through that journey.
Okay, so thank you. I remembered I also mentioned that I got a space in front of a supermarket. So there was this fateful day, I just saw a bus drove in, and they wrote International Institute for Tropical Agriculture. So I was fascinated by that word agriculture. I moved closer to the driver. The driver was the one that told me more about what IITA was into. So on getting to IITA, I didn't even know IITA was very, very close to me. I know there is Ministry of Agriculture. I do not know anything around IITA. So that was how I shared contact with the driver, and the person informed me on when the next training was. And don't forget, when you get to a training environment, you'll be there's no how your knowledge view will be different.
Expand,
There's a way they will expand it in a way that you've not been looking at it. So I was just around, let me rear fish behind me. So but getting to IIT and seeing different value chains of fish in terms of we have the hatchery aspect, we have the grow out aspect, we have the processing aspect, we have so many other aspects that you could make money from, that I told myself that if I am going to go back into fish farming, then I need to commercialize it. I need to do something different in a professional way. Now that I am now a certified farmer, don't forget I didn't study it in school. I was only opportune to be a beneficiary of that very good training by IIT. So on getting to IIT, I was one of their best students for that cohort, and I also gave back as one of my own CSR, because the value addition I was doing, I learned it from all these street boys. Let me call them like that. I paid to learn it, and they worked for me, and I also learned on the job. So barbecue, grilling in commercial way, I gave back to the students, and I was part of the people that stood back even after the training to monitor the hatchery. Hatchery is that place where you bring up the fishes from
fingernails.
Even fries, because we have the broodstock. The broodstock are the parent fishes. So you bring the female fish and the male fish. The female fish will give you egg. The male fish will give you the sperm. So there's a way you bring them together so that they can start giving you fries. So the fries are the very tiny fishes. So that was how we started monitoring, and I saw that, this is another value addition. If I don't even want to rear for 3 months or 6 months, taking it to that purpose, so I could even make money within just 6-7 weeks. My fishes are ready and I could sell. So I started seeing things differently. So I spoke to people around, how can I get a space? For me, I even thought I might need to get to Osun to get maybe one plot or two plots, because Lagos, you know how Lagos is. We have a lot of water. So if you really need dry land, we have a lot of houses that are already built. If you must get a land, you might need to buy a building, demolish it. And excuse me, this is a startup business. How do I go into that? But fortunately, the estate I resided, one fateful day while I was doing my exercise in the morning, I saw that there was a fence that was broken down, and I just peeped through. These are ponds, dilapidated ponds. And I started moving forward. I walked into it. I started counting 10, 20, 30. I lost count because there were bushes. Then I had to look for the main road that will give me access from the front, because I was looking at it from the back. So when I made inquiry, they told me that they usually do fish farming there before, but maybe the owner got tired or retired or something, mismanagement happened. So that was how I looked for the owner, and it was not easy. What I'm saying, it took us almost 2 or 3 years before we could gain access after meetings upon meetings. And thankfully I have somebody who supports me so much. That's my husband, Karode Ayo. He supports me, so we've been together in the business even till now. So we always go for meetings together, draft the proposals and everything, and at the end of the day it was a success. That was how we started using that place, and people saw what we're doing, they invested. And before we know it, from one pond that could give us 3 to 5,000 fishes, we started using 10 ponds, we started using 15. Till we left, I think we were able to use 38 ponds. And that was how people got to know us. So not with our money, but people just believed in us that if you could start from your backyard, take it to the main road, and now to this place, seeing you with one pond, and now you've grown into they just be. So even when the owner sold the land and gave us quick notice, people still moved along with us to Ogun State, where we are currently doing the business.
Wow, this is very enlightening and very encouraging. I believe any young farmer listening right now will be so motivated to want to go into farming and all of that, because your journey, it shows resilience, it shows persistence, it shows consistency, and at the same time the faith in that story, it's actually something that got to me, that once you have that, you have a vision, you must also have that belief in yourself that definitely this will definitely work. The road might not be all juicy and all of that, but you will still definitely get there. And I think to you watching out there right now, I believe you are getting some value that is going to transform your life. So you don't have to remain at that same spot you are currently. You have to give it all you can, because definitely you're going to get to your main destination. So where you are currently, you can still get better than where you are. So you don't have to relent, you have to keep pushing. So now let us now go into other deeper aspect of it. Like, okay, for someone that is just starting, that is also into fish farming and all of that, you've actually explained the process of the hatchery and how the mating process and all of that, then grooming it to the brook, I think, if I'm correct.
Broodstock.
Okay, to the broodstock. Okay, so at that, which now becomes what level do we call the one that is ready for table, like ready to eat?
Table size.
Okay, the table
The
size.
smokable ones, they call it melange.
Okay, so like, okay, is there any differences between the brook and that table size? Okay, just run us through.
And so, like I said, it starts from fries. After the mating, it starts from fries. I cannot really say this is the size of the fry. Fries are different. They are just the baby fishes. So from there, you move to the fingerlings.
Okay, so what's the difference? Is it the
it's
size?
In the length.
Okay,
Yeah, the length, the
okay.
size. So for some people, they sell fingerlings as 5 gram. Some will say 6 gram. So you need to use your kitchen scale to measure it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to sell, even though they will count, it's a game of numbers, a business of numbers. So then we have the juvenile. The juvenile is around 10 gram for standard juvenile. So most farmers usually buy that. So that's another value chain any young farmer can also tap into. You can even buy fries from an hatcher. Somebody who hatches, who does the mating. So you can buy fries, then take it for maybe 4 weeks or 3 weeks into juvenile and sell off. And you are done. You don't need that big space. That's why I said there are different value chain where you can make money. Some people earn their own
just from
sales at that place. Yes,
level.
they just sell within
they didn't even
6
get
weeks
to
max.
the table size at all.
We have people who buy, even sometimes when we run out of juvenile, we go out to buy.
Okay.
Because sometimes, you have different challenges in fish farming. Anything can happen and you need to restock. If you cannot wait for your own fish, you get from another farmer.
Okay, so
you get juvenile. After juvenile, we have jumbo.
Okay, what's that jumbo?
Jumbo is the next level after juvenile. It's like a post-juvenile. So there's no particular measurement to say this is jumbo. But for some people, they can sell 15 gram for you as jumbo.
Okay, so pardon me to cut you.
No problem.
So what about the foodies? People who are just ready to eat. So can they eat jumbo?
No.
Okay, cannot.
You can't eat jumbo. So the size you can actually start
eating
feeding on is the melange.
Okay,
the melange,
okay.
yes. So for the melange, the way I can explain it is you can have 3 fishes weighing 1 kilo.
Oh, okay.
Or 4 fishes weighing 1 kilo. Sometimes 2 fishes weighing 1 kilo. But for the 2 fish weighing 1 kilo, it's even very big. But most times when you go to these regular markets and you see those small fishes that are folded, many of times they are like 4 or 3 making 1 kilo. So those are the melange.
Okay.
The one you meet in the let's say our bar, the regular places where you relax in the hotel, those ones are table sizes. They are for the pepper soup or for the grilling.
Yeah, but there are some table sizes that might not be that big.
Yes, some people even, so after that table size, you have the broodstock, the parent fish. So we have some people, they will not keep their broodstock for, let's say, want to use them for hatchery. No, they sell off, because we also have some people that will say, oh, if I really need to eat fish, I want something very big, something that is fleshy.
Yeah.
And some people will even tell you that when it's too big, they don't like it. So, we have preferences.
Okay. So for what would be your advice for a beginner that wants to start fish farming? So what level of these stages would you say that this person can start from, that you think like it will be safe and the person will not probably lose money, or like that is more safe for a beginner to start?
Okay, so one thing about fish farming is that the younger the fishes, how will I put it? The younger the fishes, the more prone they are to diseases.
Oh, okay.
So if you really say that you want to make money from fish farming as a beginner, I would advise you just go for jumbo.
The big size.
No, jumbo is not the
jumbo
big. It's the one
is
after juvenile.
Okay.
Just go for
Those
jumbo.
Ones are still strong.
Yeah, because they've been able to withstand a lot of, let's say, pressure. It's like, how will I put it? Let me say to a layman now. It's like somebody that wants to adopt a child.
Okay.
And you've never had anything to do with a child before. You know, some people will say, when I want to adopt, they'll say, I want a day old. Some people will say, no, I want a 6 months.
Okay.
Some people will say, I want a 1 year.
Okay.
Some people will say, I want to adopt, I want a 5 year. And some people will say, I want to adopt, I want a 10 year. What are they running from? They are running away from stress. Immunity. They don't know how immune that child might be.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't want somebody who is exposed, who is maybe fragile. So those fries, those juveniles, those fingerlings, they are very, very fragile. So when you move to jumbo, juvenile is not bad, but jumbo is an higher version for a beginner. So when you move to jumbo, you can take it to 3 months, sell off, make your money, and restock again.
Okay.
You can also take it to 6 months, make your money at table size, and resell. So gradually, when you know that I've been able to manage jumbo to table size or melon, you can then move to juvenile again. Okay. When you want to restock, you can't buy juvenile. Gradually, you move to fingerlings. Gradually, you move to fries. Before you know it, you might start producing your own fries, which is the archery. But there are a lot of complications that can come around that archery if you do not go and learn it. It's not a game of it's not try and lock. You need to be a professional hasher to be able to go into that field. You need to be a professional, and I mean a professional. You need to really learn it.
For example, now based on learning now, so how do we go through it? Like, for example, you mentioned in your story that you actually went to ITTA and you emerged as one of the best students during your time of learning. And you also mentioned now, like, okay, there's also the place of knowledge. So which one thing I can note now is that knowledge is very key when it comes to fish farming. So how do you advise someone who wants to go into farming, or what would be your advice in terms of knowledge?
Knowledge, like you've already answered it, is an unending stuff. You need to learn. And
so do you train people?
Yes, we do. It's one of the things we do as CSR. We use for impact. We give back to the society when it comes to training. So you need to learn from somebody. Just like what you are wearing, somebody might say, "Oh, I was born in a fashion home," but it does not still mean that the person did not learn from his or her parents. Either is the father or mother. So there's a place of they will say, "Oh no, go back to this, do it like this, style it like this."
Okay. Moving on. Thank you so much. You've actually enlightened us so much about fish farming, and me myself, who happens to be like a novice, I've been gaining some knowledge. And with your explanation, I think you're inviting us to to want to go into fish farming. But okay, so quickly, because of your time, we know of your distance and the likes. And I know that you have a lot of nuggets you still share with us before you go. What would be your advice first for youth generally, because they have these notion thinking that agriculture is actually for maybe mama 60, maybe mama 70. They feel like it's something of extinction. They're okay, no, I have to go into IT, I have to go into tech, I have to go into fast kind of thing to give us money and all of those things. So what would be your advice?
The next sector of let me say zillionaires will be farmers, whether we like it or not. Yeah, because when it comes to food, it's an everyday business. If I ask you when you bought this clothes now, you can tell me maybe 2 months ago, even or 2 years ago, and you're still wearing it. But the food you ate this morning has digested.
Exactly.
So definitely you need to take another one. And by night you need to take it. And if you go 40-day fast, you will end up one day to break. So that is why farmers, whether we like it or not, maybe in another 10 years, will be the richest people on this planet. So I would advise any young one that wants to go into farming to do good and go into it right now. If I do not hesitate, just go into it. Start small, scale, Then before you know it, you grow big. Make your mistakes now. Don't wait till when you are 60 or 50. Grow. There are a lot of mistakes. No matter the experience you get, no matter the training you attend, you will make your own mistake. But it is good to make it while you are young. And then
you gather the experience for you to scale. So then there's this other part that we also want to quickly look at. So some people might be looking like, oh, I actually love fish farming, right? But I have issues with funding. Like, how do I go about it? Like, okay, let us start up. What will you be your advice? Okay, let's say for example I have 100,000 naira. Can I start fish farming with that?
Yes, you can. As at today, you can still get juvenile for 80 to 100 naira, depending on the farmer.
Like 80 naira, 800 naira.
80 naira per one.
Okay, 80 naira.
80 naira per one.
Wow.
So that means if you want to start, let's say you want to start with 50, with 80 naira, that means you get for 40,000 naira.
Wow.
You can decide. In fact, you can decide to buy fingerlings.
Wow.
Then take them to just juvenile and sell off.
Wow,
because with that 100,000 naira, you might not be able to take them to table size. So you can just buy fingerlings, maybe fingerlings of 40 naira. So if you buy fingerlings of 40 naira,
okay,
and you buy let's say 100 pieces, that should give you 40,000 naira. You can just buy feed, 2 bags. We have this feed that they eat. We have Copens, we have Ala Aqua. But Copens, for instance, as of today, is around 42,000 naira.
Wow.
So if you buy,
we are still within the bracket of that same 100,000.
So if you buy it with your let's assume you have your cultural medium, and I mean the tanks or maybe the trampolines you want to use to rear them. And don't forget, these are not fishes you are taking to 6 months, so you don't need that very big space.
Okay.
So you might just use 1 or 2 plastic tanks to rear them. Do your sorting within 3 weeks. You are done. You sell off.
Okay,
to
so
farmers that want to carry them to table size.
All right. Now, because many youth are always of I don't have much with me and all of those things. Fish farming is a big man business, Jerry. And that's why I asked that question, like, okay, 100,000, will it work? Because some people will be like, okay, what can we do with 100,000? Just like First Lady was saying that we should go and fry akara. And I think that's on a lighter note. So, but what will you say regarding other kind of businesses that people feel like, okay, it's nothing, but whereas it's still something tangible within the space of agriculture that you can also enlighten people about? Okay,
so if we go by that 100,000 naira, you can also, another value chain of fish farming, catfish itself, is you buying melange.
Okay,
you can buy melange. Melange has been grown to that 3 make a kilo or 2 make a kilo. Then even when you don't have an oven, even though we call it smoking cleaning fish farming, to process it, where you will dry it so that it can remove all the moisture content.
Yes.
Give it to somebody who process.
Okay.
So let's imagine that as of today, melange is 2,005 averagely, depending on the farmer. So let's assume that you buy 20 kilo. 20 kilo of melange is 50,000 naira. So if you buy 50,000 naira for 20 kilo, and you process it, to process melange per kilo as of today is 500 naira. So 500 naira times 20 kilo, that's 10,000 naira. So you buy your melange with 50,000 naira, you pay for processing for 10,000 naira, that's 60,000 naira, depending on where you go to buy them from. So logistics, let's say everything 5,000 naira, you want to spice it or whatever you want to do, then your packaging materials, your labels, your stickers, everything. Let's even assume that you spend 80,000 naira. So can you see, you still have change from your 100,000 naira. So you can then sell as smoked dry fish, and before you know it, you're already a CEO. You can say, you can say Shalewa fish farm. Okay. You don't have a fish farm,
okay, sorry.
No, I'm just trying to say that you don't have a fish farm.
Okay, but
you don't have a processing center. But by the time you do your labeling, it is carrying farm, because you are producing a farm product. Do you understand? So I'm just trying to say that
I get
there's a
you.
lot you can do with the little. You don't even need to have 100,000 naira.
Okay.
With 50,000 naira, you can start from 10 kg melunch.
Wow.
And you can even decide, for somebody like us now, we even sell processed fish. We sell it to people, retailers. They will then go and buy their packaging materials and rebrand in their own sticker name. So that way, they've not even gone to the farm to buy the fresh fish, talk less of going to a processing center to process it. So they just lift it from us, then package it with their own with their own packaging material, brand it in any and sell. And they are still carrying maybe Chidima's farm, and nobody's going to question it from them. So there's a lot you can do around fish farming.
Just like what you said now, it's just about creativity and how creative you can be and how determined you are about going into the business. So if you have, no matter how little you have, just like you said, like even 50,000 naira, you can do something with it.
Yes.
So you don't have to wait till you have so much before you can just go into business. So I think generally about business now, learning from you now is like, okay, no matter how small it is, you can do something as far as you have the willpower to make a change. So I believe if you are listening right now, so it's your chance to start what you want to do. And I'll be giving out what's called the CEO's or Soramida's details so that you will be able to reach out to her so that you need any further information when it comes to fish farming, agriculture, or farm business in general. They will be able to enlighten you on how to go, no matter the funding, what you can do with what you have currently. So, what would be your advice to all young farmers and to youth generally when it comes to business and when it comes to farming?
Okay, my advice to youth generally is that be consistent every day. Be consistent at everything that you do. That is the only way to success. Consistency will definitely pay off. Show up every day, no matter how hard it is. Keep pushing. The sky will be your starting point. And for every farmers out there, I'll tell you that yes, I see your pain. I know that some pain, especially in something like fish farming, can be very, very expensive. I see your pain. I see your struggle. We need to get that. The fact that you are growing does not mean that you don't experience it.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that if you are also consistent, you will definitely break even someday.
Now you hear it from the CEO herself. She has told you that you don't have to give up. You have to keep pushing up and you keep have to showing up every day and all time like that, and consistency is very key, just like you have mentioned. So please, if you need any further information when it comes to fish farming, you can reach out to Soramida Enterprise. They'll carry you along about all the information you need and all the guidelines you need when it comes to fish farming. I remain my humble self at Deleke Mustafa, and we are still on your show Ekaro. Please stay tuned as we bring more insightful episode on Ekaro. Keep locked on Proba Podcast. I remember humble self once again, Adeleke Mustafa. Please say hi to our people before you go.
Yeah. See you later. And thank you for Proba Podcast.
Thank you
Bye.
for coming.